Welcome, returning and new subscribers. As you can see from the title of this live, Anubis, because the energy is nonstop and it's only getting stronger. Anubis, the son of Nephthys and Set, the son of Nephthys. There's a reason why I said Set, because you'll see. Anubis, the son of Osiris and Nephthys. A creation that occurred through Nephthys seducing Osiris, which led to him being cut up into pieces from the story most of us are aware of. The revival of Osiris, god of the underworld, had to do with Osset, Isis, bringing forth the pieces to Anubis, guided by the wisdom of Thoth, Mercury, or thoughts. Okay? Now, as Osiris sits on that throne, his right hand is Anubis. And this is why I say that energy is getting stronger when it comes to the heart being as light as a feather. In order for the heart to be as light as a feather, it will have to be in its essence of a soul, which has nothing to do with rules of humanity, the box of humanity. Because when we connect to the cosmic law, you'll have a greater understanding as to what I'm stating to you at this very moment. Been telling y'all that when I'm pulling these cards, these numbers either pull up the jackal or, it pulls up the jackal, and the jackal is Anubis. Now, the jackal would eat up at the grave, so this is why you have Anubis placed at this entry point of graveyards or through the works of mummification to prevent jackals from eating at these graves. Okay. So it's like, it's like playing devil's advocate. And right now, I'm just allowing the energy to come through because these downloads were coming in. I look over, there's a sparrow. I look over this way to the time, 4:44. I said, okay. See, I don't think people realize the space that humanity is in. Around 4:55, just around then, the wind started blowing heavy. Winds of change. Because I pay attention to nature, not the way meteorologists are going to talk to you about it. I view nature and her temperament at the current moment. And for what I'm seeing, it's time for people to shape up for real. Mhm. And when I mean shape up, I mean get more familiar with this cosmic law, because everything you do as far as profession or education, it's all teaching you about the different levels, and those same levels you experience within your body. But the key for you is, while you're here in this earth school, is to realize that everything that's going on around you is happening within you. When you rise into a certain level when it comes to education or your profession, these are the same things that are going on within you for you to step into your sovereign way of being, governing thyself. Okay? So and I is what I'm feeling right now is the judgment call on humanity to decide the way you're going to perceive the world. Which side are you going to be on? Are you going to be on the side where you're viewing the bringing in of heaven on earth? Because that level of destruction, because the spiritual realm is the reality. So the level of destruction that you're seeing now, based on the perception of a person, you can either see this as something that's happening right now, or just a projection of what has been happening in the spiritual realm. Basically something that's already manifested. So if let's look at this as far as the law of attraction and you wanting to manifest your heart's desires. You wanting to manifest your heart's desires, you're going to have to put more focus into what it is that you want to manifest, and not so much what's already been manifested. Because what you're doing is you're shifting your focus to what has manifested, and this is what you're going to get more of. See, there have been way this huh. Let me see, give me a second. Let me see which ascended master has a message, because my ears ringing. Thank you, Mama Universe and Papa Universe. I connect my heart and soul to thee. I connect my heart and soul to my angels, spirit guides, and ancestors. I connect my heart and soul to the gods and goddesses that flow through me, as me, for you and my collective, to use our mind's eye to see, always in connection to the Most High. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Look at this. You know you see them right here. Pick this up so you can see it clearly. And this fell on the table here. Renaissance man, who is this? Lucifer, and who is this? The warrior. Greetings, Fatima. I'm going to tell you right now, the energy that is surrounding the collective, you don't have to be very wise. This ain't the time. This is what I'm saying. This is the age of knowing, and this feels like one of those moments for those who are at this level, and those who want to test these waters and think this shit is a game. All right. Okay. I'm going to leave it right there at that. Now, this is that moment where you have to know what spirit is around you that's using you. Because if you're going to act like you don't know, just got. So let me see what we got going on here. Luna Day, huh? Who do we have? Which one? Let me see. Ascended Master. Yep. Okay. Do unto others as you would like to be done unto you. Do unto others as you want to be done unto you. Ra. It was just 11:11, as I said. Ra. As this wind started blowing, because I knew the storm was approaching, instead of it smelling like rain, it smelled like roses. It smelled like roses. For me, that's a signal of the galactic center. Purity. Unconditional love. Purity. Purifying through the fire all that is not unconditional love. Now, the essence of Anubis speaks of the afterlife being a sanctuary, not the way it's seen as far as, not so much not the way as far as it's seen as, but with Anubis, the afterlife is a sanctuary, especially when your heart is as light as a feather. Now, that feather is also connected to an ostrich. Certain places have a festival for them. If I'm not mistaken, that would be Arizona around March. And March, it marks a new beginning. This is what I was telling y'all the other day, where it feels like these upcoming seasons is actually your springtime. $5.55. And those of you who are healers, spiritual workers, root workers, whatever it is that you do when it comes to unorthodox ways of healing, you could be possibly going through a journey or process. Well, there's always going to be a journey. You could be going through a particular process in your journey where it's going to show you your value. Okay? There's a lot that you're going to experience that has, it's when it comes to the way money is handled today, it's no comparison. There's no amount of money in this world that's going to equate to what you're experiencing or what process you may have to go through to realize the healer or to really connect to these abilities, these ancient abilities. There's no amount of money in this new age or any age that's going to equate to what you would have to experience. You want to know why I'm saying that? Because there's certain people, right, that have amazing gifts but unable to realize it through a particular process because it's too much to handle. When I say too much to handle, there could be certain experiences that makes them want to say, I give up. And that giving up could look different for a lot of different people. Okay? So, know your worth. Know your worth. You don't have to explain yourself to anybody because you've gone through the test of your heart being weighed against the feather. Especially once you get to that point where, you notice that there are people coming to you for your guidance, literally for your guidance, because this is what I'm saying. Don't put yourself in a position to explain yourself. Mm. Okay, so I'm in my crone energy today. It's lunar day. It's moon day. What's this? Who is this? Look at this. You got Buddha and Brother. King of Pentacles is coming up strongly here too. Maverick. I awaken into something more. Yeah. Once you awaken, and that's what that ear ringing was happening. The message from my ear ringing for the collective. Do unto others as you want to be done unto you, as you awaken into something more, which is also going to help you to release, connections or any partnerships that want to move in a way that's connected to the world. You're in this world, but you're not of it. This is why I'm saying people better start waking up to what's really going on here. Heaven on earth is the mission. See? You can hear it in my voice. It's not. It's really not. In this human form, I've experienced so many different things that if you ask me my age, I should be telling you a minimum of 222 years old. It's unnecessary, the things that's going on and the way people are programmed, because that's what 444 also speaks of. What does it say? To be corrupt, morally tainted. And the book of Job is also mentioned here. And that's another thing too. What's going to help you make a decision between realizing what you're able to do in your role when it comes to bringing heaven on earth has to do with the flesh and the spirit. You see that transformation in the Bible once you get to the book of Romans, where it starts to speak of the Holy Spirit. Prior to that, you'll hear a lot of I this or I that. Once you get into the book of Romans, it speaks of the Holy Spirit. Now, Romans, Caesar, Cleopatra, that era right there is when the ways of ancient Kemet has been basically taken over. Let's see. Give me a second. And you know why this energy is so strong too? Yeah, because between now and the 25th is when the energies of the retrogrades are actually extremely potent where you can either go back into a space that's more like the abyss, or you can rise up. It's really up to you. It's at the top. Tyrant. I rule my life. Do you? Do you rule your life? If not, what's stopping you from doing so? Look at this. Look at this. Look what pop out here. Occupation. Then you have official person and mature woman. 622. And because I just saw a post with a particular person, their born time was 622, Jimmy Fallon. Some think this is funny. Some people think this is funny. I'm not talking about him. I'm just saying, just based off of that. Some people think this shit funny. All right. Let that trickster catch you then. What's the message here to elevate the collective, beloved? They are awakening into something more. What is the message? $2209, the child. 2209, this comes out, number 18, also connected to the moon card. 1 and 8 is a 9. 9 speaks of completion. It would be, as far as fire energies, that would be the highest, which connects to your eternal soul or spirit. Well, your eternal soul from being aware of your spirit, the God within you. And removing thyself from this poverty mindset, whether this be about yourself, financially, anything that has to do with the lack of, when everything that you're asking for or that you feel like you need, you already have. Some of you are asking for stuff that you need or the how, but the real question is, what experiences have you gone through to show you where you have what it is that you're asking for? You want your life changed. No, what you really want is to see how this is evolving you to see the change that's occurring in your life. Okay, so we have here 3418, occupation, child. Some of you may work with children, or you're being guided to work with children, especially as this evolution is happening. Finally mending this part of yourself when it comes to the inner child as well, as evident, as obvious as that is. Let me see. There's something you're being guided to start now, that when it comes to what it is that you're reviewing. So this is something that's coming back for you to review, and they want you to do it now. For some of you, this has to do with green plants. 3418 speaks of green plants. Yerek. Let me see. That's a starling. There's something about when you speak, there may be a moment where you release water from your mouth, where you have like a spit reaction or spit response with what you're saying. Pay attention to what you said when that happens. It's like the most obvious things is where your answer is and what it is that you're looking for. Damascus, silent as a sackcloth weaver, an ancient trading city. Let me see something. Let me get a little bit more on this. Damascus. The mask is being drawn together by inner voice or separated by inner voice. Let's see. Something to be more alert about. Again, because it's showing me sack of blood. So for the feminines, being mindful of your menstrual cycle and the moon phase, the current moon phase that it starts. Being more aware of that as you go along. Write it down on a piece of paper. Don't put it too much into your phone or some form of technology. Put it on a piece of paper or something. You don't even have to write it down. Just, check to see where the moon is, what cycle of the moon, and read up more on that particular cycle and what it means. Some of you could be going through this initiation of the triple goddess energy. And that is quite the journey. I'm going to tell you that now. It's also connected to a chief city in Syria. Straight line 180 degrees, the balance between the physical and the spiritual. Now, this is also for the divine masculines too, to pay attention to when your feminine cycle is coming through, where the moon is, that zodiac sign, and the moon phase, and get familiar of that polarity between that physical or spiritual sign as to when the moon is. So for instance, the moon right now is in Cancer. It's Monday, Blue Monday. So the moon right now is in Cancer. If let's say your cycle started today, read more up on the waning crescent moon and the polarity between Cancer and Capricorn. Cancer has a lot to do with your ancestors, and Capricorn has to do with all of your lifetimes, like the use of your authority when it comes to controlling your emotions or your feelings that's actually been passed on to you for generations and generations and generations, and it can keep on going depending on who decides to do something about it. Yeah, definitely look more into that. So it says here, Syria represents the intellectual sense domain, and the river Abana represents a current of intellectual thoughts and reasonings about life. Damascus, meaning sack of blood, signifies a state of consciousness that is founded upon a material concept of life in the body. This concept has been sustained by the race from time immemorial. It is known when Damascus was first built, but the time was before Abraham. Abraham's steward Eliezer was Damascus. The truth is that this material concept of the body began with Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. It had its inceptions in the desire for sensation, and it brought about their expulsion from Eden. Damascus, 2, stands for body sensation. There goes that Taurus energy then, which is held by the race to be the oldest and the most beautiful and pleasurable of all experiences by the people of the East. Can't make this shit up, because that was the other thing. Because when I was noticing this wind was blowing, I peeped where the birds were flying. They were flying towards the east. Well, they were more so gliding towards the east. So Raphael, the heart. This entire moment, if I had to give you a scenario, like in movies, you'll see Moses and receiving the commandments. That's a whole nother topic, but that's what it looks like. There's a writing on tablets happening with the thunderbolt. Oh no, it's at 32:18. I got too hype. Hold on. All right, let me continue. By the people of the East, let me go again. Damascus, 2, stands for body sensations, which is held by the race to be the oldest and the most beautiful and pleasurable of all experiences. By the principle of the East, Damascus is called the paradise of the world. Your heart, of course. Yeah. That's what your soul is. Because without that, how are you experiencing this world? Moving on. But the desire for and seeking after sensation have brought man into sensuality and lust. They have caused the body of man and the life in his organism to manifest very materially. And in the end, lust burns up the cells and the tissues of the organism and destroys the body. Mind you, this shit is on page 222. Like that, from what I'm reading. Like I said, I'm only here to relay a message. People sit here and play around. I ain't the one to play with. I'm not the one to play. I'm very patient. Very patient. I'm extremely patient. Sometimes to a fault. But once the Most High start relaying the message in a different way, where I physically start to feel it, oh, that we gonna roll. We gonna roll. Because there's things that I have an ability to do, but I don't want to. Okay? So it's not that I don't want to, it's just this is what I'm saying. Like, this earth is not going to tolerate any form of colonialism. Now, here's another thing. Because I'm highly fluent in Spanish. Now, y'all notice I don't like the word blessings. I use blessings. When people sneeze, people have a tendency to tell people, bless you. Even in Spanish, that's not even the word that's being used. The word that's being used when someone sneezes is salud, which is either greetings or health. So yeah, there are certain languages that are a part of that system, but the root of it, the root of it is connected to vibrations within words that actually bring about, that can assist in bringing about heaven on earth. So it's like being mindful as to what it is, that's being put into you through education or through inheritance. You know what I'm saying? So because if we really speak of what's the real issue when it comes to expressing oneself with words, it is the English language now. Just told you, when someone sneezes, you hear people say bless you. In Spanish, we say salud, which means greetings or health. Now, let's look at that word bless a little bit more. It looks like a 9, but it's a 9 in a whole different direction. It looks like a fucking arrow, right? E for error. Anyway, when they say knowledge is key, is basically what are you willing to know? Because what you're willing to know, you're going to have to take yourself to a ledge, not physically. But you're going to have to put yourself in this position. You don't have to do shit. But those of you who hear me, you're going to be putting yourself in a position where the only thing that's left to do is to fly. Now, see, there's so much that has been placed into the thoughts of the collective that creates the perception, even from what angels look like or what demons look like. Or depending on where you're at on your path or the mindset that you're carrying, when you look in the mirror, that could actually be that angel or that demon, just your physical face. This ain't the time to be playing, man. A lot of you know what you're supposed to do. Mars is in Gemini. It's going to make you want to respond with wit. Be careful now. Mercury out here helping you out, being retrograde at this present moment while that's happening. Careful. Again, my role is to show you through the way I express myself how important your birthright is to have joy in life. Unless you signed a different contract before you came here. Well, I'm a no. Test that if you want to. You're going to find out I wasn't the one you wanted to test. So, I don't want to have to see people waiting till something happens before you do something about it. What? You need proof outside of you before you are sure about what you're going to do. When your heart already told you. But if you're still holding on to these loads of anger, not being able to trust, that's another thing. Before you approach me for anything, make sure you're in a space where you can trust yourself. Again, because this energy right now is the way the earth is moving and everything else. Just there's a lot of spiritual people doing their part the way they are guided to do their part. Just like you are. You know what I'm saying? So just be more aware as to why you have different fingers and not your whole hand being one finger. What's bringing this in now? What is bringing this in here? What is this? Geronimo. What I'm asking about what is this energy that I'm picking up on now, the way this message is coming out. Mother Earth runs in my blood. Geronimo. Because a lot has to be released as far as pain. There are still certain ways of doing things where you can see where there's going to be a delay in the healing process. What do I mean by that? Because I have so many different things that are just coming through, and this is why I'm like, so you know what? Let me get to the tarot. Actually, stand still. That's what this room says right here. Stand still. Stand still. As you sow, so shall you reap. The letter J, number 13, and this is connected to an oak tree, which is what you see me looking this way because I'm looking at an oak tree, and the sun is coming out now. 6:25, 43:30 on the timer. I'm telling us the age of the prophet. Keep playing around. Go ahead and play around, but I'm gonna tell you right now, you better get off this channel. Unsubscribe, do what you gotta do. Just get away from me, cause I'm only here for those who are ready to take this to the next level. Do what you gotta do. Help who you're supposed to help. Don't force yourself to do anything. You know what I'm saying? You don't gotta explain your work to nobody. They gonna sense who you are. You know what I'm saying? So 6:25, gathering, collection, harvest. Yeah. Fruits of one's labor. A collection of fruits. 6:25. And it says stand still. Some of you probably out here doing way too much. Way too much. And don't realize this is actually the moment where your heart is being weighed as light as a feather. Come on now. And we got this Luciferian energy here at the bottom of the deck saying, I shall not condemn myself. Right up under that, you got the Hierophant. And then the Warrior. Being in spirit with nature. I am with spirit and nature. I am with spirit and nature. It's basically who's guiding this message. There's so many structures or systems that are in place again with this ear. That's simply y'all just do yourself a favor. Get on your shit, y'all. Like get on your spiritual game. Not to harm anyone, for yourself and for what is to come there after you. And stop playing around in this spiritual community too. I'd rather say reality. Stop playing in this spiritual reality. This ain't the And I keep seeing the number 28 pop through. So let me see what the message is. Anima. Being touched by the inner feminine. I am touched by my inner feminine and the apprentice. When the student is ready, the teacher appears. When the student is truly ready, the teacher disappears. 4655. What is 28 talking about? Papa Universe. It says, my father knows Abida. And we spoke about this. I think it was I don't remember, but we definitely came across that. As far as exactly when the father of knowledge, the belief that knowledge comes through the senses. Now, this was supposed to be the foundation. Okay. And going back to Lucifer's energy, I shall not condemn myself through the lack of knowledge, basically. Because if you have a crack in the foundation of a building, that building will be listed as condemned. Now we're in the age of knowing. So it says here the belief that knowledge comes through senses, father of knowledge, i.e., for example, knowing. The Midianites, descendants of Midian, were enemies of the Israelites. They represent contentious thoughts and judgment or discrimination in sense consciousness. The judgment of the senses based on outer appearances produces discordant thoughts, jealousy, and so forth. Now, Abidan, his father was Gideon. Gideon means destroyer of error, warlike, tribe of Benjamin. Benjamin also means son of the right hand. See, some of you are literally children of Anubis. And you're going through lessons where, unfortunately, certain people have to be sacrificed for you to see that. Your job is not to focus too much on the person, but more so the spiritual experience or lesson you are going through at that moment to evolve. Because to whom much is given, much is required. So, Abidan, father of judgment, a judge, therefore stands in consciousness for a strong, influential thought of righteousness, discrimination, or justice, with power to execute its decisions. Abidan was first appointed chief man over the Benjamites in accordance with Jehovah's command to Moses for the purpose of numbering the people to find out how many men of the tribe were above 20 years of age and able to go to war. Judgment, 20, judgment. Who is ready to answer the calling, basically. I'm not seeing this as war as the war that is shown here, but the physical assimilation is basically what you see today. Not gonna make this long because I do have to take a call here and get some final messages here for the collective. I'll be back though. I'll be back. What's the advice here for the collective? What's the advice for the collective? Whoa, Page of Wands in reverse. Be whatever it is that you're going to be, but just be it. True work is shown through action more than words sometimes. Well, for me, all the time from where I come from. Ace of Pentacles here. So there's an offer that's coming in where you there's an offer that's already presented to you. Is what I'm feeling from this Page of Wands. On another note, this could be a message that comes in from someone that is not an actual ally. I don't got time for that. To be go do that somewhere else. Tell people who you are somewhere else. Now, let me do this again. What is the advice here for the collective? Look at this. Queen of Wands come out. If you want to. Bring love into this situation, beloved. What is the advice here for the collective? Ashe. King of Swords, Four of Swords, Ten of Wands, and the Page of Cups upright. So there's a strategy that you're now able to connect with, a mental way of thinking, a way of processing your thoughts that's going to allow you to hear and recognize how to use all of this power that you have been given, where at one point you were seeing it as a burden. So again, this is giving me the energy of somebody who wants to change their life. And instead of wanting to change your life, begin to ask Source, the universe, what is it about this situation? Similar to what I said on IG, what is it about this situation that I must see to help me, to allow me to evolve, so that way I can see that it's not so much that you want to change your life, because if you really pay attention to saying, change my life, remove this situation so my life can change. What if that situation is actually going to bring you what it is that you're asking for right now? Because if that situation is removed and there still hasn't been any changes, this could also mean that you're taking this into another lifetime. So you can choose to, it's like rewriting the pages of your life right now. Rewriting the pages of your life right now. For others of you, in this new cycle, you're being able to see clearly based on the obstacles and challenges you've had in seeking your truth, applying it. You're allowing yourself, now you're able to be mindful of these offers that are coming in. It's Piscean energy, something within 5 days here. You're almost there, because your foundation is not too far. You just can't see it because you have This is like basically right before you're about to come through the birth canal. It's a lot of darkness, but you're almost there. That house is not too far. Okay. It's those labor pains. Just one more cycle of contraction, however that is for you. But that next release that you have, it's like a slingshot. Get one more. Yeah. Completion of a cycle here. Reward is what I'm feeling from this. King of Cups. So this is being able to take action, intuitive action. This is also going to bring the family together for some of you, where this is the work that you've been doing. A higher level of wisdom is coming into your life. You're about to see why you went through these cycles here now. Because there are going to be things along the way that may test you, but you can't misuse this power you're being given. You can't misuse it. I mean, you can do whatever you want, but you already know the vibes. What you put out, you're going to get back in return. Okay? Let's see here. What's this? Ooh, I feel like this is a star coming down, a wish that's being given to you. This is what this feels like right now. It's listen, yeah, because you're taking action on who you are. Where you're going next is going to depend on the I am, what you say after the I am. Yep. So many ways you can go about this. So many ways you can go about this. Some of you you're just being asked to be open to receive now. $21.17. Some of you, there's a massive clearing that's happening between that age 17 to 21. And that's crucial for where you're at right now. That's crucial for where you're at right now. For this card here, it says, take some time and do some personal research into Carl Jung's work on the anima and animus. There's a wealth of information for both the clinician and layman alike to learn practical application of these archetypes in one's life. If you are a harder machismo type of man, it may be time to soften up a bit and practice an art such as dance, yoga, music, poetry, and let your inner feminine out of her cage. If you are a gentler side of a masculine expression, some label as the sensitive new age guy, it may be time to engage in boxing, martial arts, or competitive sports. Both the harder and softer masculine expressions are valid and emotional maturity allows us to be fluid between them. Include some more purpose, discovery, or re-evaluation in this exploration. Now, purpose also connects to spirit. The anima within is there to assure the conscious masculine is emotionally mature, King of Cups, and effective in his purpose. Be touched by your inner feminine. She is out here. That energy is out here and willing to embrace you. Pay attention to nature. You see what she's doing right now. Don't add to her windy like energy. That you don't need to be added to that. Okay? And this is why I'm here. To let y'all know, like, yo, what are we doing, y'all? What are we doing? I love you. I'll see you on the next message. I'll be back.